Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to krabsfx. Today we're going to be doing some more backtesting. This is day 3 of backtesting my strategy. We're on the 3rd day of the month of February 2023. In this data, we are up 4% right now on the month. Very good. This is the trade we took last video. Nice fair value gap fill. Another one right here, same setup. But yeah, before we get into this, guys, make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'll be following back all of you guys. I'm trying to grow my page and connect with more of you guys. So yeah, I'll be following all y'all back. And I didn't mention this in past videos, but I just launched my free Discord community. If you guys want to network with other traders, put out trade ideas every day in there, make sure to check that out. But yeah, we're going to be using Pip-Labs for this backtesting. If you guys need a backtesting software, check out the link in the description. This is the one backtesting software that has tick data, that has up to 30 ticks per minute here. So yeah, the first backtester to introduce a tick data approach. So what that means is we see candles play tick by tick as if we are in the live markets, and that's what we want to do when we're backtesting. We want to treat it just like it's the live markets. So yeah, let's get into it. Right here, I just marked the previous day's highs and lows here on US 30. Let me just change that. Right now, it looks like the day before was really choppy. So we're just going to keep that in mind. Like, it was not trending at all. It just kind of consolidated. The 2nd of February, let's see what day that was. That was a Thursday too, so that's pretty weird. Thursdays normally aren't that choppy, but yeah. So right now it's a Friday in this data. So we marked out previous day's highs and lows. Now we're going to mark out Asia session highs and lows. Right here we got Asia low. We're going to mark that. Asia high / low. We're going to mark up the high right here. Asia session is from 1800 to midnight. So yeah, the highs right here. Yeah, so no liquidity was swept yet. But let's just skip over to our trading time at 9:30 a.m. Yeah, so then we swept the Asia low right here. Something to keep in mind. That was most likely 8:30 a.m. news. Huge candle. We're just going to mark down that Asia low was swept at 4 a.m. Just something to keep in mind. Asia low swept at 4 a.m. Then we had this fat news candle at 8 a.m. which also ran the previous day's lows. So that's something we're gonna note. Previous day's lows have been swept. Swept at 8 a.m. I'm gonna keep that noted. But yeah, now we're gonna hop on the daily. Let's see what our bias is. Pretty bearish here. Previous daily candle closed bearish. So my bias for this session right now is bearish. I'm expecting a price movement down since we have that daily closing bearish. So we're going to keep that noted here. Bias is bearish. We're just going to keep that in mind. We're mostly going to be looking for shorts during this day. So let's see if we have any fair value gaps on the daily time frame now. We're doing our top down analysis right now. It's pretty wicky here. There's not really any major gaps. I mean, this is technically a daily gap, but that's so far down. Can mark it anyway, you know. It's very far away, but better to have it marked than not. Up here. Yeah, no gaps in price here. Looks pretty good there. Let's see on the 4 hour if we have any fair value gaps. 4 hour time frame. Let's see. Thought that was a gap, but nah. Yeah, nothing here. Yeah, no gaps have been left behind on 4 hour as well. Let's check the 1 hour now. Just move this out the way. Let's see what we got. Here's a 1 hour fair value gap. We're gonna mark out. Right here. I'm gonna mark that 1 hour fair value gap. So if price wants to push up into this, we could look for a short back down based on our bias being bearish. But yeah, so there's not many fair value gaps in price right now. I mean, we do have this imbalance right here right now on the 1 hour. So we're gonna mark that down as 1 hour imbalance. Meaning if the next candle, or if this candle closes like this bearish, that means we're gonna have a 1 hour fair value gap here, or a 1 hour imbalance that needs to be filled. So we're gonna mark that down. 1 hour imbalance. Let's make this bottom. One sec. Some coffee. Alright, so yeah, let's see what price wants to do now. We're gonna skip to exactly 9:30 a.m. That's the only time that I'm looking for my entries, is New York Stock Exchange open and after. So yeah, let's just skip there on the 30-minute just to make it exactly at that time. Now we're gonna put this on the 1. Let's see. Alright, price just open right now. Alright, nice. So we did run this previous day's low, but we are bearish on this session. So ideally, what I want to see here is I want to see this actually push up into this 1 hour fair value gap. And then that is where we're going to move, or that's where we're going to look for our entry for shorts. So yeah, let's mark that up. Where's the arrow at? Arrow right here. Something like this. I mean, if price wants to go up here and we start seeing rejection right here, most likely you're gonna get in right there. But we also have this 1 hour imbalance, which we could look for shorts from. This is honestly probably the best entry right here. So yeah, we're gonna watch how price reacts right now. Ideally, we either want price to push up here into this 1 hour fair value gap, either tap into it, start showing rejection, or fill it fully, or I'm open to taking this 1 hour imbalance being filled. A 1 hour imbalance, or like an imbalance in general, is basically just a fair value gap where the third candle in the pattern is still active. So this candle is still moving. So it could easily fill this and then want to show rejection and go down. So yeah, let's see how price wants to react here. We're going to be watching this on the 15-second, tick by tick. So yeah, let's hit play. See if we can get entry here for shorts. Now we wait. This is the good thing about Pip-Labs. We're being patient. We're practicing being patient. And that's all that you gotta do in the live markets, is be patient. So yeah, almost just filled it. I'm gonna move this line. I just have this marked out for the time so that I see the time. But I'm gonna get rid of these. I'm gonna just get rid of that so that we can see right when it gets filled. Because our entry is gonna be right on this fill of this gap. So yeah, let's just watch here. We're actually going to slow this down even more to the 5 second so that we don't miss our entry. Patience. Boom. Now if we start to show rejection right now off of this, if price is like being wicky like this, we're going to get in and aim for the previous day's lows here. So yeah, we'll see if we can show some type of rejection off of this 1 hour imbalance, because right now it did get filled pretty well. So let's just watch here. Yeah, so that's not what I wanted to see really, but that type of rejection, we could take a more risky shot here at this 1 hour imbalance fill, but it kind of did disrespect it, which I don't like. Yeah, that type of fill, I really don't like that, but we could take this shot here right now. And if this does get stopped out, we're going to look for a re-entry up here on this 1 hour fair value gap to take down price. But yeah, here we're going to go with a bit of a wider stop again, 50 points. Just because this is US 30, I like a looser stop on US 30. On NASDAQ, I'll usually have a tighter stop, but really anything between 30 and 50 points, that's all that's needed really. But yeah, anything bigger than that, I wouldn't even really like taking if I need a stop bigger than that. But yeah, we're going to enter our trade here. Short by market. Boom. I'm going to be risking 1% on this account. So yeah, if we do get stopped out here, it's all good because we're up on the week. We got some profits to play with, so that won't be an issue. And also, we have this nice re-entry opportunity up here if we need it. Hopefully we don't need it, but yeah, let's watch what price wants to do right now. Execute. All right, let's see. Let's just watch now and be patient. We need some rejection. Once we get to a 1-to-1 RR, can go break even. Oh, almost stopped out. Boom, stopped out. So we got stopped out of this position, but we're also at this 1 hour fair value gap, so we could look for an entry really soon. But right now we're gonna mark this down in our journal here, and then we're gonna look for a re-entry. So I'm gonna put down my confirmations. These were my entry confirmations for this trade, so we're gonna keep these noted. Number 1, we had time, which was 9:30 a.m. Number 2 was bias. Number 2 was bias. We had a bearish bias, so we followed our bias. That's a pretty good confirmation to have, definitely. So yeah, and then 1 hour imbalance fill. We're gonna call this, we just call it fair value gap fill to keep it simple. We're gonna call it that. It's fair value gap / imbalance fill. I don't want to confuse anyone. It's basically, an imbalance is basically just a fair value gap with an active candle. So like, don't let the name imbalance confuse you. It's basically the same thing as a fair value gap. It's just the candle's still live and still moving. So yeah, let's see if we had any other confirmations. Yeah, we did have rejection. I'm gonna put that, but we had price kinda disrespect that imbalance, which I didn't really like. But that's something to keep in mind for next time, is that maybe when a fair value gap gets like ran through like that, or this imbalance got like ran through like that, but it it showed that rejection. Maybe probabilities aren't the highest on those because it just got disrespected. Ideally, I wanted to see price kind of tap into this 1 hour fair value gap or imbalance, whatever you want to call it, and start wicking like this, and then reject and target these previous day's lows. But yeah, we're gonna throw this into the journal and we're gonna look for our re-entry. Yeah, screenshot there. Time, this was at 9:30 a.m. This is Friday. Bias was bearish. We're shorting. Minus a band. Minus 50 points. Or what do we call this? 500 points? Is that what we call this? Yeah. Let me change these two. Because it's a 1 to 2, so you're risking 500 to get. Yeah, that's right. Alright. Stop loss size, the same. I've been using this looser stop loss recently. RR got stopped out, so didn't have no RR. So yeah, rules followed, yeah, for sure. That's what's most important. Alright, confirmations. We're gonna throw these in. Boom. We're gonna be looking for a re-entry, so we might take another trade here. It is Friday too. Fridays aren't always the cleanest days. Sometimes they're a little bit choppy. Based on my past data, I know that Fridays are not the best trading days, but that's just something to keep in mind. So we're gonna throw this here. Entry 1 confirmations so that we can leave this here. Boom. We're gonna throw in this new screenshot here. Alright, perfect. So now we got that there. Ideally here, we want to see some type of rejection here at this 1 hour fair value gap. And if we don't, we're gonna watch this get filled and then see our downside move, which we want to enter based off of this rejection, or we could also impulsively enter right now as we just tapped into this fair value gap. So yeah, let's see what price wants to do. We're gonna be watching this on the 1 second. So this is basically like watching it like live, as if you're in the live markets. So yeah, let's see what price wants to do. Fill it, reject. Yeah, we're gonna get in right here. This gap was about filled all the way, almost. Let's see if price rejects one more time. We're in. Yeah, we'll be in after that. So we're gonna take our second position right here. Short. We're gonna run another 50-point stop above this fair value gap. So yeah, ideally we want stops above this Asia high, but I don't want my stop anything above 500 points. So we're gonna keep it here. But we do have this 1 hour fair value gap protecting us, so we should be good here. So yeah, we're gonna target a 1 to 2 to pay for our other loss that we took today and to still be up on the day. So we're gonna target a 1 to 2. That's gonna be perfect here. So yeah, let's enter this trade. Sell at market. Throw this in. About 500 point stop. Target 1 to 2. Perfect at market. Execute. So yeah, let me just show the account balance. So we lost 1% on the last trade. Alright, let's see how this plays out. We do have nice rejection here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write out my confirmations as to why I got in right now before this trade plays out, either wins or loses. So yeah, it is a Friday, so I'm not expecting nothing crazy. If we do take another loss, that's it. We'll just call it a day and it'll all be good. So entry 2 confirmations is Number one is time. This happened at 9:30 a.m. as well. Bias was bearish. 1 hour fair value gap fill. Same thing. Had rejection. Fill about let's say about 70%. It got filled. But yeah. Entry 2. We're gonna call this re-entry. Alright, let's see how this plays out now. Nice. So instant 1-to-1. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move stops to break even right now. This is a risk-free trade. We do not want to lose this right now after that push. So we moved our stop to break even. And now we're going to watch how price wants to react, if we want to smack TP or if we're going to get hit break even. But ideally, this is the perfect rejection that I wanted to see. So yeah, let's see if we end up hitting our take profit here. But no matter what, we're risk free. Perfect. So we just hit TP there for 1 to 2. Made 2% on that. So on this day, we are up 1% on the day. Even after taking a loss, we're still up on the day, which is what is important. And that is why we keep losses small and winners a lot bigger. So yeah, we're gonna be marking this. We're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna put in the screenshot into the journal. So right now on the account, we are up 5%. So yeah, that's why it's very important. If you see another good re-entry after taking a loss, it's okay to take it. But if you lose on that second trade, it's pretty smart to just call it a day, I would say. So yeah, 2 losses is the max that I would ever want in a day, because that just means it's a bad day and should come back another day. And especially on Fridays, if this was another loss, I would not be looking to take a third trade here. So yeah, let's just fill everything in. It was 9:30 a.m. It was a Friday. Bias was bearish. We're going short. We're following bias. That's what I like here on these 2 trades, is we stuck to bias, which doesn't always happen. Some trades will be counter trend to get an entry opportunity, but we did follow our bearish bias here, and that's what I'm happy for right now, is that we followed that. So yeah, risked 1% again. Caught a 1 to 2. Rules followed, of course. So entry 2 confirmations were pretty similar, basically the same to the other trade we took that we lost on, but this 1 hour fair value gap was filled about 70%. So as you can see here, fair value gaps don't always get filled like 100% of the way. So that's why when I saw this rejection here, let me just put this here. When price was right here and it pushed up and I started to see that rejection, I just got in impulsively, or I wouldn't say impulsively, actually kind of impulsively, on this rejection here off of this gap, which was another confirmation that we had. The 4th confirmation was rejection. I saw price wicking here, got in, and it shot down to our TP. Perfect prediction here. So yeah, the best entry here would have been right here on this tap into the fair value gap. This would have been the best entry, but since I did take a loss before this in the day, I wanted that 4th confirmation of seeing some rejection here, because price easily could have just shot up like it did down here when we got faked out on this imbalance fill. But yeah, that's just a breakdown of that, my thinking during that, and my confirmations I gotta throw in here. But yeah, pretty much these were the same confirmations from the trade before that lost, but probabilities here did play out in our favor, and both of these trades followed my bias of being bearish based on the daily candle closure being bearish. So that's something important I like to keep in mind, is always have a bias and stick to it. Just because price hit our stop loss down here, let me just put my first entry. Just because price hit our stop here, we're not FOMOing in and looking for buys right here off of some random entry. We stick to our bias. We had price reach into our area of interest right where we wanted to, and we saw that reaction. So yeah, that's pretty much the breakdown of this. I gotta throw these in to the journal, and that is pretty much it for this video. Ended up taking one L and then one W that paid for that L and then some. So that's what's important. That's why it's important to stick to a strict R to R. I try to stick to 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s. I normally like to close 80% at a 1 to 2 or close full at a 1 to 2. So let's see if I closed 80% here and left a runner maybe to this previous day's low. Let's see if we would have hit this 1 to 4 or 1 to 3.8 here. Let's just see. This is something to keep in mind for the future. I would have been break even here. So let's just watch if having a runner here was worth it. And this is something I like to keep noted because I always want to gather more data on my strategy. Open no top wick next candle. Let's see what price wants to do. This is either break even on the runner or 3.76 RR on that runner. So yeah, let's see here. Yeah, so runner will get tapped break even. So that is why I normally like to stick to 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s to secure my profits, because I really don't need nothing more than that. That's all you should need, is a 1 to 2, 1 to 3. It definitely varies from strategy to strategy what RR or risk to reward you use. But yeah, that's just what I personally like, is 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Make sure to check out the link in the descriptions if you want to try out this backtesting software called Pip-Labs. If you want to test your own strategies on here, go ahead. There's my link in the description. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'll be following all y'all back. And yeah, make sure to... I just created this yesterday, my free Discord group where you guys can network with other traders, meet other people, give out trade ideas every morning. I'm going to be posting my own ideas in there every single morning. And I just started this prop firm journey series. I'm going to be posting every trade on my funded account challenge of 100K. So yeah, let's get it. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. W day 1%. We're going to keep it going. P&L sheet looks really good here for this data. So yeah, I'll catch you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.